The Great Pyramid of Giza stands as a silent sentinel, its towering form perfectly aligned with the stars above, a feat so precise that it continues to baffle even the most advanced minds of our time. For centuries, these ancient wonders have captivated humanity, weaving together threads of magic, mystery, and knowledge that defy simple explanation. But what if these marvels are more than just relics of the past? What if they hold secrets that could reshape our understanding of history, mythology, and the very nature of human ingenuity? In this journey, we'll reimagine these ancient wonders not as distant echoes of a forgotten age, but as living, breathing enigmas that still speak to us today. From the myths and legends that shroud them to the unexplained phenomena that surround their existence, we'll explore how these structures challenge our assumptions about the past and inspire us to see the world in new ways. How did ancient builders achieve such astonishing precision without modern tools? What messages were they trying to encode in stone and alignment, and what can we uncover today that might unlock their deepest mysteries? This video is your invitation to step into a world where the past and present collide, where the boundaries between science and legend blur, and where every discovery brings us closer to understanding the extraordinary legacy of these ancient wonders. So let's dive in, because the answers might be closer than we think. To truly grasp the origins of ancient wonders, we must step back into a world where the lines between magic and science were blurred, where the practical and the mystical walked hand in hand. Picture this: thousands of years ago, civilizations like the Egyptians, Mayans, and Greeks didn't just build structures. They wove stories, beliefs, and cosmic truth into every stone they placed. For them, these monuments were far more than feats of engineering. They were bridges between the earthly and the divine. Take the Great Pyramid of Giza, for instance. It wasn't merely a tomb for a pharaoh, but a gateway to the afterlife, a celestial ladder designed to guide the soul of the ruler to the stars. The Egyptians believed their gods had a hand in its creation, infusing it with a power that transcended human understanding. The Mayans, too, saw their towering pyramids as more than just architectural marvels. To them, these structures were cosmic calendars, perfectly aligned with the movements of the sun, moon, and planets. They believed that by building in harmony with the heavens, they could tap into the rhythms of the universe itself. And then there's the Parthenon, the crown jewel of ancient Greece. While it's often celebrated for its mathematical precision and aesthetic beauty, it was also a temple dedicated to Athena, a place where the gods were thought to walk among mortals. These civilizations didn't just build for function, they built to connect with something greater, something eternal. As one historian put it, the ancient world didn't separate science from spirituality. They saw them as two sides of the same coin, each informing and elevating the other. This fusion of the practical and the profound is what makes these wonders so enduringly fascinating. They weren't just constructed with physical tools and techniques, but with a deep reverence for the mysteries of existence. And yet, even with all our modern knowledge, we still struggle to fully explain how they achieved such precision, such grandeur. How did they align the pyramids with such mathematical accuracy? How did they move stones weighing hundreds of tons without the technology we take for granted today? These questions hint at a level of ingenuity that continues to elude us, a testament to the brilliance of ancient minds. As we peel back the layers of history, it becomes clear that these wonders are more than just relics of the past. They're invitations to explore the intersection of human creativity and cosmic wonder. And as we delve deeper, we'll uncover how their technological achievements still leave modern scientists in awe, raising questions that challenge our understanding of what's possible. The ancient world was a place of astonishing innovation, where engineers and builders achieved feats that still leave us scratching our heads today. Take Stonehenge, for example, a massive circle of towering stones, each weighing up to 50 tons, transported from quarries over 150 miles away. How did they move these colossal blocks without wheels or modern machinery? And how did they align them so precisely with the solstices, marking the changing seasons with uncanny accuracy? These questions hint at a level of planning and precision that rivals even our most advanced engineering projects. Then there's the Hypogeum in Malta, an underground labyrinth carved into solid rock over 5,000 years ago. But it's not just the sheer scale of this structure that's remarkable, it's the acoustics. Inside the Hypogeum, sound behaves in ways that defy explanation. A single whisper can travel through the chambers, resonating with an eerie clarity that feels almost otherworldly. Was this a deliberate design, a way to amplify rituals or ceremonies? Or is it simply a happy accident of ancient engineering? Whatever the case, it's a reminder that the ancients understood their environment in ways we're only beginning to appreciate. And let's not forget the Antikythera mechanism, a 2,000-year-old device discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of Greece. At first glance, it looks like a corroded lump of metal, but closer examination reveals an intricate system of gears and dials, capable of predicting astronomical events with stunning accuracy. Some call it the world's first computer, a testament to the sophisticated knowledge of ancient Greek astronomers. But how did they develop such advanced technology? Was it the product of centuries of accumulated wisdom, or could it point to a lost chapter in human history, or even, as some theorists suggest, the influence of extraterrestrial knowledge? These examples challenge our assumptions about the past, forcing us to reconsider what ancient civilizations were truly capable of. Were they simply lucky, or did they possess insights and techniques that have since been lost to time? The precision of their work, the complexity of their designs, and the sheer ambition of their projects all suggest a level of understanding that goes beyond what we typically attribute to the ancient world. Perhaps these wonders are more than just monuments, they're time capsules, preserving fragments of a forgotten wisdom that we're only now beginning to decode. As we explore these engineering marvels, we're left with more questions than answers. But that's part of what makes them so fascinating. They remind us that history is not a static record, but a living, evolving mystery, full of surprises waiting to be uncovered. And as we continue to study these ancient wonders, we might just find that the past holds keys to unlocking new possibilities for the future. The ancient world was a place where the tangible and the intangible intertwined, where stones and stars carried equal weight in the minds of builders and architects. Magic wasn't just a belief system, it was a guiding principle woven into the very fabric of their creations. Sacred geometry, for instance, played a pivotal role in shaping structures like the Parthenon. The Greeks didn't see mathematics as just a tool for measurement. They believed it revealed the divine order of the universe. The golden ratio, a proportion found in nature and art, was used to create a sense of harmony and balance in their temples. This wasn't just about aesthetics, it was about connecting the earthly with the eternal, making the Parthenon not just a building, but a living expression of cosmic perfection. Across the globe, in the jungles of Cambodia, the sprawling temple complex of Angkor Wat stands as another testament to the marriage of magic and architecture. Built in the 12th century, it wasn't merely a place of worship, it was a microcosm of the Hindu universe designed to channel divine energy. The temple's 5 towers represent the peaks of Mount Meru, the mythical home of the gods, while its intricate carvings depict celestial beings and sacred stories. For the Khmer people, Angkor Wat was a bridge between the human and the divine, a place where rituals could bring them closer to the gods. As one historian notes, these structures were more than monuments, they were conduits designed to harness and amplify spiritual power. This spiritual intent wasn't limited to grand temples or palaces. Even the simplest structures carried layers of meaning. The Egyptians, for example, oriented their pyramids to align with the stars, believing that this alignment would guide the pharaoh's soul to the afterlife. The Mayans built their pyramids as celestial calendars, using them to predict astronomical events and perform rituals tied to the cycles of the sun and moon. In every culture, there was a shared understanding that architecture wasn't just about function, it was about connection. These structures were built to interact with forces beyond the visible, to serve as portals between the physical and the metaphysical. What's fascinating is how this belief in magic and ritual wasn't just symbolic. It influenced every aspect of design and construction. Builders would often perform ceremonies before laying the first stone, invoking the blessings of the gods to ensure the structure's success. Materials were chosen not just for their durability but for their spiritual properties. Stone, wood, and metal were imbued with meaning, transforming them from mere building blocks into sacred elements. The result was architecture that transcended its physical form, becoming a living embodiment of the beliefs and values of the people who created it. As we explore these ancient wonders, it becomes clear that their purpose went far beyond the practical. They were designed to inspire awe, to elevate the human spirit, and to connect us with something greater than ourselves. And while we may no longer build with the same spiritual intentions, the legacy of these structures reminds us that architecture has always been about more than just walls and roof. It's about the stories we tell, the beliefs we hold, and the mysteries we strive to understand. This blend of the physical and the metaphysical invites us to see these ancient wonders in a new light. They weren't just monuments to human achievement, they were expressions of a deeper understanding of the world, one that saw no separation between the material and the spiritual. And as we continue to uncover their secrets, we might just find that their greatest lesson is one of unity, a reminder that the boundaries we draw between science and magic, between the earthly and the divine, are far more fluid than we often assume. The allure of ancient wonders isn't just in their grandeur, it's in the stories of the people who built them. Across the globe, civilizations like the Indus Valley and the Nabateans of Petra left behind legacies that continue to mystify us. Their sudden disappearance adds a layer of intrigue to their creations, leaving us to wonder not only how they built such marvels but why they vanished so abruptly. What happened to these societies and what secrets did they take with them? Take the Indus Valley civilization, one of the world's earliest urban cultures, flourishing over 4,000 years ago. Known for their meticulously planned cities, advanced drainage systems, and standardized weights and measures, they were a beacon of innovation. Yet by around 1900 BC, their cities were abandoned. Theories abound climate change, shifting rivers, or even invasions may have played a role. But the truth remains elusive, leaving us with a tantalizing puzzle. How could such a sophisticated society collapse so completely? Then there's Petra, the breathtaking city carved into rose-red cliffs by the Nabateans. This desert oasis was a hub of trade and culture, its intricate architecture and water management systems a testament to their ingenuity. But by the 7th century CE, Petra was largely abandoned, its people fading into history. Was it the decline of trade routes, natural disasters, or perhaps internal strife that led to their downfall? The silence of the ruins speaks volumes, inviting us to imagine the lives of those who once thrived there. And let's not forget the underwater city of Dwarka, off the coast of modern-day India. According to Hindu mythology, Dwarka was the legendary kingdom of Lord Krishna, a city so grand it was said to have been swallowed by the sea. Archaeological evidence suggests that a real city may have existed here, with remnants of structures and artifacts dating back thousands of years. Could this be the Dwarka of myth, lost to rising sea levels or some cataclysmic event? The line between legend and history blurs, offering a glimpse into a world where myth and reality intertwine. These lost civilizations challenge our understanding of history. Their sudden disappearances raise questions about the fragility of human societies and the forces, natural or man-made, that can bring even the most advanced cultures to their knees. What knowledge did they possess that we've yet to uncover? Were they aware of their impending fate, or were they blindsided by events beyond their control? As we explore these mysteries, we're reminded that the past is not a static record but a living, breathing enigma. Each discovery, whether it's a crumbling city, a forgotten artifact, or a submerged ruin, offers a clue, a piece of the puzzle waiting to be fitted into place. And as we piece together these fragments, we might just find that the answers we seek lie not only in the ruins themselves, but in the stories they tell, stories of resilience, ingenuity, and the enduring quest to understand our place in the world. What if these lost civilizations held knowledge we've yet to rediscover, secrets that could reshape our understanding of history, technology, and even our own potential? The allure of their mysteries is a reminder that the past is far from settled, and the greatest discoveries may still be waiting beneath the sands, beneath the waves, or hidden in the whispers of ancient legends. Among the most awe-inspiring aspects of ancient wonders is their profound connection to the heavens. From the towering pyramids of Egypt to the terraced peaks of Machu Picchu, these structures weren't just built to impress, they were designed to mirror the rhythms of the cosmos. Take Machu Picchu, for example. Perched high in the Andes, this Incan citadel is more than a feat of engineering. It's a celestial observatory. During the solstices, the sun aligns perfectly with key architectural features, casting shadows that mark the longest and shortest days of the year. For the Inca, these events weren't just astronomical phenomena, they were sacred moments tied to the cycles of planting and harvest, life and death. Similarly, at Chichen Itza in Mexico, the ancient Mayans created a masterpiece of celestial alignment. The Pyramid of Kukulkan, with its 4 staircases of 91 steps each, totals 365 steps, a clear nod to the solar year. But the real magic happens during the equinoxes. As the sun sets, shadows cascade down the pyramid steps, forming the illusion of a serpent slithering toward the earth. This wasn't just a clever trick of light, it was a profound statement of the Mayans' understanding of time, astronomy, and their connection to the divine. The serpent, a symbol of Kukulkan, their feathered serpent god, was believed to descend from the heavens to bless the land and its people. These alignments weren't just about marking time or honoring gods, they were about creating harmony between the earthly and the celestial. Archaeologists have long marveled at the precision with which ancient cultures mapped the stars and integrated them into their architecture. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for instance, aligns almost perfectly with the cardinal directions, a feat that required an extraordinary grasp of geometry and astronomy. Similarly, the ancient Nabateans of Petra oriented their tombs to face the rising sun, symbolizing rebirth and the eternal cycle of life. What's striking is how these alignments served dual purposes. On one hand, they were practical tools helping ancient societies track the seasons, plan agricultural activities, and navigate the world around them. On the other hand, they were deeply spiritual, embodying a belief that the cosmos was alive with meaning and intention. As one archaeologist put it, for these cultures, the sky wasn't just a backdrop, it was a canvas, a map, and a mirror of their deepest beliefs. But could these alignments hold even deeper meanings? Some researchers suggest that they might encode messages or knowledge we're only beginning to decipher. Could the precise placement of these structures be a way of preserving astronomical data for future generations? Or do they hint at a more profound understanding of the universe, one that saw no separation between the physical and the metaphysical? As we explore these celestial connections, we're reminded that the ancient world was far more sophisticated than we often give it credit for. Their ability to harmonize architecture with the cosmos speaks to a level of insight and intentionality that continues to inspire awe. And while we may never fully unravel the mysteries they left behind, each discovery brings us closer to understanding how they saw themselves within the grand tapestry of the universe. This interplay between the earthly and the celestial invites us to look at these ancient wonders not just as relics of the past, but as timeless expressions of human creativity and curiosity. They challenge us to see the world not as a collection of random events, but as a carefully orchestrated dance, where every stone, every shadow, and every star has a role to play. And as we continue to study these alignments, we might just find that the cosmos still has secrets to share, secrets that these ancient builders knew how to listen for. Theories of extraterrestrial influence have long captured the imagination of those who study ancient wonders. Could these monumental structures, with their astonishing precision and scale, have been built with the aid of beings from beyond our world? Proponents of this idea often point to the Great Pyramid of Giza, whose alignment with the cardinal directions is accurate to within a fraction of a degree, a feat that seems almost impossible without modern technology. The Nazca lines in Peru, massive geoglyphs etched into the desert floor, are another focal point. These intricate designs, visible only from the air, have led some to speculate that they were created as landing markers or messages for extraterrestrial visitors. Mainstream archaeologists, however, offer a different perspective. They argue that the ingenuity and resourcefulness of ancient civilizations are often underestimated. For example, the precision of the pyramids can be explained by the Egyptians' advanced understanding of mathematics and astronomy. Tools like the Merkit, an ancient surveying instrument, allowed them to align structures with remarkable accuracy. Similarly, the Nazca lines, while mysterious, are likely the result of careful planning and communal effort rather than otherworldly intervention. As one archaeologist puts it, to assume extraterrestrial involvement is to dismiss the incredible capabilities of the people who lived thousands of years ago. They were far more sophisticated than we sometimes give them credit for. Yet, the allure of extraterrestrial theories persists, not just because of the mysteries they promise to solve, but because they tap into something deeper, a universal human fascination with the unknown. These theories reflect our desire to believe in forces beyond our understanding, to imagine that the cosmos holds secrets waiting to be uncovered. They also highlight the enduring question of whether we are alone in the universe, a question that has intrigued humanity for centuries. What's particularly interesting is how these theories, while often dismissed by the scientific community, continue to inspire exploration and debate. They challenge us to look at ancient wonders with fresh eyes, to consider possibilities beyond the conventional narrative. Whether or not one believes in extraterrestrial involvement, these ideas remind us that history is not a closed book but an ongoing dialogue between the past and the present, between what we know and what we have yet to discover. This fascination with the unknown is a testament to the enduring power of mystery. It drives us to ask questions, to seek answers, and to push the boundaries of our understanding. And as we continue to explore these ancient wonders, we're reminded that the greatest discoveries often begin with a sense of wonder, a willingness to imagine the impossible and to see the familiar in entirely new ways. Symbols are the language of the sacred, and ancient art and architecture are filled with them, each shape, pattern, and motif carrying layers of meaning that transcend time and culture. Take the serpent motifs at Teotihuacan, for instance. In this ancient Mesoamerican city, serpents weren't just decorative elements, they were powerful symbols of transformation and renewal. The feathered serpent god Quetzalcoatl was a central figure in their cosmology, representing the union of earth and sky, the material and the divine. When you walk through the Temple of the Feathered Serpent, the intricate carvings seem to come alive, telling a story of creation, destruction, and rebirth. For the people of Teotihuacan, these symbols weren't just art. They were a way of encoding their deepest beliefs about the cycles of life and the cosmos. Shifting to the Nile Valley, the lotus flower holds a similar place of reverence in Egyptian art and architecture. Carved into temple walls and columns, the lotus was more than just a beautiful flower. It symbolized the sun, rebirth, and the eternal cycle of creation. Each morning, the lotus blooms anew, rising from the waters as if reborn, mirroring the journey of the sun god Ra across the sky. For the Egyptians, this wasn't just a poetic image, it was a profound truth about the nature of existence. Temples adorned with lotus motifs weren't just places of worship, they were microcosms of the universe, designed to reflect the divine order and the eternal return of life. What's fascinating is how these symbols resonate across cultures, even when separated by vast distances and time. The serpent and the lotus, for example, appear in myths and art from Mesopotamia to India, each carrying similar themes of transformation and renewal. This suggests a shared human impulse to find meaning in the natural world, to see the cosmos as a place of interconnected cycles and patterns. As one scholar notes, symbols are the threads that weave the fabric of human experience, tying together our hopes, fears, and aspirations across millennia. Modern interpretations of these symbols offer fresh insights into their significance. Advances in archaeology and anthropology have allowed us to decode the cultural and spiritual context in which they were created. For instance, the serpent at Teotihuacan is now understood not just as a religious symbol but as a political one, representing the power and legitimacy of rulers who claimed divine authority. Similarly, the lotus in Egyptian temples can be seen as a metaphor for the pharaoh's journey through the afterlife, a reminder that even in death there is the promise of renewal. Yet for all we've learned, there's still so much to uncover. These symbols are like puzzles, each piece offering a glimpse into the minds of the people who created them. What other layers of meaning might be hidden in the art and architecture of the ancient world? Could they hold clues to forgotten rituals, lost wisdom, or even universal truths about the human condition? As we explore these symbolic landscapes, we're reminded that ancient art and architecture are more than just relics. They're living conversations, inviting us to listen and learn. They challenge us to look beyond the surface, to see not just the stones and carvings, but the stories they tell and the ideas they embody. And in doing so, they offer us a deeper understanding of the people who came before us, and perhaps of ourselves. This journey into symbolism isn't just about decoding the past, it's about uncovering the threads that connect us all, the shared language of meaning that transcends time and place. And as we continue to unravel these mysteries, we might just find that the greatest symbols are the ones that speak to something universal within us all. Ancient texts have long been regarded as windows into the minds of those who came before us, but what if they're more than just historical records? What if they're treasure maps pointing to advanced knowledge and mystical practices that shaped the creation of ancient wonders? Take the Vedas, for instance. These sacred Hindu scriptures, composed over 3,000 years ago, contain not only spiritual teachings but also detailed descriptions of advanced mathematics, astronomy, and even principles of flight. One passage in the Vimana Shastra describes aircraft-like vehicles powered by energy, sources that modern science is only beginning to understand. Could these texts hold the key to the engineering marvels of ancient India, such as the precision-cut stones of the Kailasa temple or the astronomical alignments of the Sun temple at Karnak? Similarly, the Emerald Tablet, a cryptic text attributed to the legendary Hermes Trismegistus, has fascinated scholars for centuries. Its famous axiom, "as above, so below," suggests a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of the cosmos and the Earth. Some believe this principle influenced the design of structures like the Great Pyramid, which mirrors celestial patterns in its alignment and proportions. Could the Emerald Tablet contain encoded instructions for creating such wonders, blending science and spirituality in ways we're only starting to grasp? These texts often speak in riddles, using symbolic language to convey ideas that transcend their time. For example, the Mayan Popol Vuh, a creation myth, contains prophecies and astronomical references that align with the cycles of their pyramids and temples. The Dresden Codex, another Mayan text, includes intricate calculations for predicting solar eclipses and planetary movements, knowledge that seems almost impossibly advanced for its era. Were these writings meant to be more than just records? Were they guides, perhaps even blueprints, for building structures that harmonized with the rhythms of the universe? Even more intriguing are the hints of lost wisdom scattered throughout these texts. The Egyptian Book of the Dead, for instance, contains spells and rituals that some believe were used to harness energy or communicate with higher realms. Could these practices have played a role in the construction of the pyramids, imbuing them with a power that goes beyond the physical? Similarly, the ancient Chinese text, the I Ching, is often seen as a divination tool, but its hexagrams may also encode mathematical and philosophical principles that influence the design of sacred sites like the Forbidden City. Decoding these texts is no easy task, but the potential rewards are immense. By piecing together their hidden messages, we might uncover not only the techniques used to build ancient wonders, but also the deeper purpose behind them. Were these structures meant to serve as conduits for spiritual energy, as repositories of knowledge, or even as warnings for future generations? The answers may lie in the pages of these ancient writings, waiting for us to decipher their secrets. As we delve into these texts, we're reminded that the past is not a closed book, but a living, breathing source of inspiration. Each word, each symbol, offers a glimpse into a world where science and spirituality were inseparable, where knowledge was both a gift and a responsibility. And as we continue to explore, we might just find that the greatest mysteries of the ancient world are not in the stones themselves, but in the stories they tell. Stories that challenge us to see the world in new ways and to imagine what might still be possible. What if these ancient texts are more than just relics of a bygone era? What if they're bridges to a forgotten wisdom waiting to be rediscovered? The answers may be closer than we think, hidden in the words of those who came before us, a reminder that the past is not just something to study, but something to learn from. Rituals were the heartbeat of ancient wonders, the invisible threads that tied humanity to the cosmos. At sites like the Temple of the Sun in Cusco, Peru, rituals weren't just ceremonies, they were acts of cosmic maintenance. The Inca believed that without offerings and sacrifices, the sun might falter, plunging the world into darkness. They performed elaborate ceremonies, often involving offerings of gold, silver, and even llamas, to ensure the sun's continued journey across the sky. As one anthropologist explains, for the Inca, these rituals were not symbolic gestures but essential acts of survival. They believed they were co-creators of the universe, responsible for keeping the natural order intact. Across the Atlantic, at Stonehenge in England, rituals took on a different form but served a similar purpose. This enigmatic stone circle, aligned with the solstices, was a stage for ceremonies tied to the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. During the summer solstice, the rising sun would pierce through the heel stone, flooding the inner circle with light. For the ancient Britons, this wasn't just a celestial event, it was a moment of communion with the divine, a time to honor ancestors and seek blessings for the coming year. Modern researchers suggest that these gatherings may have also served as a way to unify scattered communities, creating a shared sense of identity and purpose. What's striking is how these rituals, though separated by geography and culture, share a common thread, a belief in the interconnectedness of all things. Whether it was the Inca offering sacrifices to the sun or the Britons gathering at Stonehenge to mark the solstice, these practices reflect a profound understanding of humanity's place within the cosmos. They remind us that for ancient societies, the world was not a collection of isolated events but a web of relationships where every action had a ripple effect. This belief in cosmic balance wasn't limited to grand temples or stone circles. Even smaller, everyday rituals carried deep significance. In ancient Egypt, for example, the daily rituals performed in temples weren't just about worship. They were about maintaining Ma'at, the concept of cosmic order and harmony. Priests would offer food, incense, and prayers to the gods, believing that these acts sustained the equilibrium of the universe. As one scholar puts it, for the Egyptians, ritual was a form of maintenance work, a way of keeping the gears of the cosmos turning smoothly. These practices weren't just about appeasing gods or ensuring good harvests, they were about creating meaning. They transformed the mundane into the sacred, the ordinary into the extraordinary. And in doing so, they imbued ancient wonders with a sense of magic and mystery that still resonates today. When we walk through the ruins of these sites, we're not just seeing stones and carvings, we're stepping into a world where every action, every gesture was part of a larger story. This connection between ritual and wonder invites us to see these sites in a new light. They weren't just monuments to human achievement. They were living, breathing spaces where the boundaries between the earthly and the divine blurred. And as we continue to explore their secrets, we're reminded that the past is not a distant, disconnected place but a mirror, reflecting our own search for meaning and connection. What if these ancient rituals hold lessons for us today? What if they remind us that we, too, are part of a larger web, where every action we take has the power to shape the world around us? As we delve into the mysteries of these sites, we might just find that the greatest magic lies not in the stones themselves, but in the stories they tell and the wisdom they still have to share. Modern technology is revolutionizing the way we explore the mysteries of the ancient world. Tools like LiDAR, light detection and ranging, are peeling back layers of time, revealing hidden structures and landscapes that have been obscured for centuries. Imagine flying over dense jungles, and instead of seeing just a canopy of trees, you uncover the outlines of an entire lost city. That's exactly what happened in the Amazon, where LiDAR has exposed sprawling networks of ancient settlements, complete with roads, plazas, and irrigation systems. These discoveries are rewriting our understanding of pre-Columbian civilizations, showing that the Amazon was far from a wilderness, it was a thriving hub of human activity. Ground-penetrating radar is another game-changer, allowing researchers to see beneath the surface without lifting a single stone. In Egypt, this technology has revealed hidden chambers and passageways within the Great Pyramid of Giza, sparking new debates about its construction and purpose. Could these spaces hold clues to the pyramid's true function, or might they contain artifacts or inscriptions that could shed light on the lives of the people who built it? Each scan brings us closer to answering these questions, bridging the gap between ancient ingenuity and modern curiosity. These tools aren't just uncovering new sites, they're helping us reinterpret ones we thought we already understood. Take Angkor Wat in Cambodia. For years, it was seen as an isolated temple complex, but LiDAR scans have revealed it was part of a vast urban network, a city that rivaled the size of modern-day Los Angeles. Suddenly, Angkor Wat isn't just a temple, it's the centerpiece of a lost metropolis, a testament to the scale and sophistication of the Khmer Empire. What's truly exciting is how these technologies are democratizing exploration. Archaeologists no longer need to rely solely on painstaking excavations or chance discoveries. They can map entire regions from the air, peer beneath the Earth's surface, and even create 3D models of ancient sites. This not only speeds up the process of discovery, but also preserves delicate sites by minimizing physical disturbance. Yet, for all their power, these tools are just the beginning. As technology advances, we're likely to uncover even more secrets hidden in plain sight beneath deserts, forests, and even oceans. What might we find next? Could there be entire civilizations waiting to be rediscovered, their stories preserved in the Earth's hidden layers? The possibilities are as vast as the mysteries themselves, and each discovery reminds us that the ancient world still has much to teach us. This fusion of ancient wonders and modern innovation is more than just a scientific breakthrough. It's a reminder of how much we have yet to learn. As we continue to explore, we're not just uncovering the past, we're redefining our relationship with it, finding new ways to connect with the people who came before us. And in doing so, we're writing a new chapter in the story of human history, one where the boundaries between past and present blur, and the secrets of the ancients are brought to light like never before. What if the ancient wonders we marvel at today were not just products of their time but bridges to the future? Among the most fascinating speculative theories is the idea that time travelers or advanced future civilizations may have played a role in their creation. This idea, while controversial, challenges our conventional understanding of history and forces us to reconsider the boundaries of human ingenuity. Take the Baghdad battery, for instance, a clay jar, copper cylinder, and iron rod discovered in Iraq dating back to around 200 BC. When filled with an acidic substance like vinegar, it could generate a small electric charge. Was this an ancient battery or perhaps a tool for electroplating? Or could it have been a relic of a more advanced civilization, one that understood concepts far ahead of its time? Then there's the Piri Reis map, a 16th century chart that seems to depict parts of the world like Antarctica, with astonishing accuracy long before they were officially discovered. The map's creator claimed it was based on older sources, some of which may have been lost to history. Could these sources have been the work of a civilization with knowledge far beyond what we attribute to the ancient world? Or might they hint at the possibility of time travelers sharing insights from the future? These theories, while speculative, raise profound questions about how we interpret history. If advanced knowledge or technology existed in the past, even briefly, what does that mean for our understanding of human progress? Could there have been civilizations that rose to incredible heights, only to collapse and leave behind only fragments of their achievements? The idea of time travel adds another layer of intrigue. If future humans or even extraterrestrial visitors interacted with ancient societies, could they have shared knowledge that influenced the construction of wonders like the pyramids or Stonehenge? Mainstream historians often dismiss these theories as fanciful, pointing to the ingenuity and resourcefulness of ancient cultures. They argue that we don't need to invoke time travel or lost civilizations to explain these achievements. Yet, the allure of these ideas lies in their ability to spark curiosity and imagination. They remind us that history is not a static record but a dynamic, evolving story, full of mysteries that challenge our assumptions. What's particularly compelling is how these theories force us to think differently about time itself. If we accept the possibility of time travel or lost advanced civilizations, we open the door to a more fluid understanding of history, one where the past, present, and future are not strictly linear but interconnected in ways we're only beginning to explore. This perspective doesn't just reshape our view of ancient wonders. It invites us to see the entire timeline of human history as a tapestry of possibilities, where the boundaries between what we know and what we imagine are far more porous than we might think. As we consider these theories, we're reminded that the greatest mysteries of the ancient world are not just about the past, they're about the future, too. They challenge us to think beyond the limits of conventional timelines and to imagine a world where the impossible might just be possible. And in doing so, they inspire us to keep asking questions, to keep exploring, and to keep wondering what secrets might still be waiting to be uncovered. This speculative journey doesn't just enrich our understanding of history, it invites us to see the ancient world as a place of endless fascination, where the lines between science fiction and reality blur. Whether these theories hold up to scrutiny or not, they remind us that the past is not just something to study but something to dream about, a place where the impossible might just be waiting to be discovered. Ancient wonders have a way of capturing our imagination, not just in the real world but also in the stories we tell through movies, books, and video games. Think about Indiana Jones racing through the Temple of Doom or uncovering the Ark of the Covenant. These films don't just entertain, they bring ancient sites to life, infusing them with danger, adventure, and a touch of magic. When we watch Indy crack a booby-trapped puzzle or outrun a giant boulder, we're not just seeing a fictional adventure, we're connecting with the mystery and allure of these real-world places. It's no wonder that after watching these films, people flock to places like Petra or the pyramids, hoping to catch a glimpse of the magic they saw on screen. Video games have taken this fascination even further, turning ancient wonders into immersive playgrounds. Take Assassin's Creed, for example. The series doesn't just recreate historical sites like the Great Pyramid or the Colosseum. It reimagines them as settings for epic quests, blending history with mythology and science fiction. Players don't just visit these places, they interact with them, solving puzzles, uncovering secrets, and even rewriting history. This kind of storytelling doesn't just entertain, it educates, sparking curiosity about the real-world cultures and technologies behind these wonders. Books, too, have played a pivotal role in shaping how we see ancient sites. From Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code to Clive Cussler's Sahara, authors have woven intricate tales around these monuments, often adding layers of mystery and conspiracy. These stories tap into our desire to believe that these sites hold hidden truths, waiting to be uncovered by a daring adventurer or a brilliant scholar. And while these narratives are fictional, they often draw on real historical details, blending fact and fantasy in a way that feels tantalizingly plausible. What's fascinating is how modern media often reimagines these ancient wonders with magical or supernatural elements. In Stargate, the pyramids become portals to other worlds. In The Mummy, they're filled with curses and ancient gods. These portrayals amplify the sense of wonder, transforming these sites from static relics into dynamic, living entities. They remind us that these places aren't just stone and mortar, they're symbols of humanity's enduring quest to understand the unknown. This blending of fact and fiction in popular culture does more than entertain, it keeps the mysteries of the ancient world alive. It inspires new generations to explore, to question, and to dream. When a movie or game depicts the Great Pyramid as a repository of alien technology or Machu Picchu as a gateway to another dimension, it reignites our curiosity about what these places might have meant to the people who built them. At the same time, these portrayals shape public perception, sometimes blurring the line between myth and reality. For some, the ancient wonders become shrouded in an aura of mysticism, their true history overshadowed by fantastical interpretations. Yet, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It keeps these sites relevant, ensuring they remain a part of our cultural conversation. Ultimately, the way ancient wonders are depicted in popular culture reflects something profound about us. Our fascination with the past, our desire to uncover its secrets, and our belief that these sites hold something extraordinary. Whether it's a blockbuster film, a best-selling novel, or a hit video game, these stories remind us that the past is not just something to study, it's something to experience, to imagine, and to celebrate. And as we continue to explore these wonders, both in the real world and through the stories we tell, we're reminded that their magic lies not just in what they are, but in what they inspire us to dream they could be. The Great Pyramid of Giza isn't just a marvel of engineering, it's a testament to how ancient civilizations saw no separation between science and spirituality. For the Egyptians, the pyramid wasn't merely a tomb, it was a cosmic machine designed to align with the stars and guide the pharaoh's soul to the afterlife. The precision of its construction, its alignment with true north, its mathematical proportions wasn't just about showcasing technical skill. It was about creating a structure that harmonized with the universe, blending the physical and the metaphysical in a way that modern science is only beginning to understand. This fusion of science and spirituality isn't unique to Egypt. Across the globe, ancient cultures built structures that serve dual purposes, practical and profound. Take the Mayan pyramids of Chichen Itza, for example. These towering structures weren't just astronomical observatories, they were sacred spaces where rituals were performed to honor the gods and maintain cosmic order. The Pyramid of Kukulkan, with its serpent-like shadow during the equinox, wasn't just a clever trick of light. It was a visual representation of the Mayans' belief in the interconnectedness of the heavens and the earth. Even more intriguing are the healing properties attributed to certain ancient sites. In places like the Hypogeum of Malta, sound frequencies resonate in ways that seem almost magical. A single note sung in its chambers can reverberate through the entire structure, creating an otherworldly atmosphere. Some researchers suggest that these acoustics were intentionally designed to induce altered states of consciousness, perhaps as part of healing rituals or spiritual practices. For the ancients, sound wasn't just a physical phenomenon, it was a bridge between the material and the spiritual, a tool for healing and transformation. This duality challenges the way we often think about science and spirituality today. In the modern world, we tend to see them as separate realms, one rooted in empirical evidence, the other in faith or belief. But for ancient cultures, they were inseparable. The celestial alignments of their temples, the precise engineering of their monuments, and the rituals performed within them were all part of a unified worldview, where the physical and the spiritual were deeply intertwined. What can we learn from this ancient perspective? Perhaps it's a reminder that science and spirituality don't have to be at odds, that they can complement and enrich each other. In a world increasingly divided by rigid categories, the ancient approach offers a different way of seeing, one that embraces complexity and connection. Their wonders weren't just feats of engineering or acts of devotion, they were expressions of a holistic understanding of the universe, one that saw no boundaries between the measurable and the mystical. This intersection of science and spirituality isn't just a relic of the past. It's a living legacy, one that continues to inspire and challenge us today. As we explore these ancient wonders, we're invited to reconsider our own assumptions, to see the world not as a collection of isolated phenomena, but as a web of relationships where every stone, every sound, and every star has a role to play. And in doing so, we might just find that the greatest wisdom of the ancients lies not in their answers, but in their questions that still resonate with us thousands of years later. Archaeology is a field filled with as many questions as answers, and nowhere is this more evident than in the ongoing debates surrounding ancient wonders. Take the Great Sphinx of Giza, for instance. While most agree it dates back to the reign of Pharaoh Khafre around 2500 BCE, some researchers argue it could be far older. Geologist Robert Schoch has suggested that weathering patterns on the Sphinx's body indicate it might have been exposed to heavy rainfall, something that hasn't occurred in Egypt for thousands of years. Could the Sphinx predate the pyramids, potentially rewriting our understanding of ancient Egyptian civilization? As one archaeologist puts it, the Sphinx isn't just a monument, it's a riddle carved in stone, challenging us to rethink what we know about the past. Then there's the mystery of the Moai statues on Easter Island. These towering stone figures carved by the Rapa Nui people have long been seen as symbols of ancestral reverence. But how were they transported across the island? Traditional narratives suggest they were walked into place using ropes and manpower, a theory supported by experimental archaeology. Yet, some researchers propose alternative methods, such as wooden sledges or even a system of rolling logs. Each theory offers a glimpse into the ingenuity of the Rapa Nui, but they also highlight the challenges of interpreting a civilization that left no written records. As one expert notes, the Moai aren't just statues, they're a testament to human creativity and resilience, even in the face of limited resources. These debates aren't just academic exercises, they reflect deeper questions about how we understand history and human achievement. For example, the purpose of Stonehenge has been hotly contested for centuries. Was it a temple, an astronomical observatory, or perhaps a healing site? Recent discoveries of human remains with signs of injury and illness have fueled the theory that Stonehenge was a place of pilgrimage for the sick and dying. But others argue its alignments with solstices and equinoxes point to a more cosmic purpose. As archaeologist Mike Parker Pearson explains, Stonehenge is a puzzle with many pieces, and each discovery adds a new layer to its story. What makes these controversies so compelling is how they inspire further exploration. Every new theory, every piece of evidence pushes archaeologists to dig deeper, literally and figuratively. The possibility of uncovering something groundbreaking keeps the field vibrant and dynamic. And while these debates may never be fully resolved, they remind us that history is not a static record but an ongoing conversation, one that invites us to question, to imagine, and to discover. Ultimately, these controversies are more than just scholarly disputes. They're windows into the complexities of human ingenuity. They challenge us to see ancient wonders not as fixed artifacts but as living enigmas, each one offering new insights into the people who built them and the world they inhabited. And as we continue to explore, we're reminded that the greatest mysteries are often the ones that keep us asking questions, long after the answers seem out of reach. This spirit of inquiry drives the field forward, ensuring that the ancient world remains a source of fascination and inspiration. Whether it's the Sphinx's weathered face, the Moai's silent gaze, or Stonehenge's enigmatic stones, these wonders remind us that the past is never truly settled. It's a story still being written, one discovery at a time. Ancient civilizations didn't just build for beauty or function, they built with the environment in mind, creating structures that harmonized with the natural world in ways that still astonish us today. Take Petra, the rose-red city carved into the cliffs of Jordan. At first glance, it's a marvel of artistry and engineering, but look closer, and you'll see a sophisticated water management system that allowed this desert city to thrive. The Nabateans who built Petra channeled rainwater through a network of cisterns, dams, and aqueducts, ensuring a steady supply of water even in the harshest conditions. This wasn't just practical, it was a profound expression of their understanding of the land and its rhythms. As one archaeologist puts it, Petra isn't just a city, it's a dialogue between human ingenuity and the environment, a testament to how deeply the Nabateans understood their world. Across the ocean, the Inca took environmental wisdom to another level. Machu Picchu, perched high in the Andes, is not only a masterpiece of architecture but also a model of sustainability. The city's terraces were designed to prevent soil erosion and maximize agricultural productivity, while its stone walls were constructed with a technique that allowed them to withstand earthquakes. The Inca didn't just adapt to their environment, they worked with it, creating structures that were as resilient as they were beautiful. This blend of practicality and respect for nature is a hallmark of Inca engineering, one that modern architects and engineers are still studying for inspiration. What's striking about these ancient practices is how they reflect a holistic understanding of the environment. For the Nabateans and Inca, nature wasn't an obstacle to overcome but a partner to collaborate with. Their structures weren't imposed on the landscape, they emerged from it, shaped by a deep awareness of ecological principles. This approach stands in stark contrast to many modern practices, where the environment is often treated as a resource to exploit rather than a system to understand and respect. Could these ancient solutions hold the key to modern sustainability challenges? As we face the growing impacts of climate change, from water scarcity to extreme weather, the wisdom of the past offers valuable lessons. The Nabateans' water management techniques, for instance, could inspire innovative ways to conserve and distribute water in arid regions. Similarly, the Incas' earthquake-resistant designs might inform how we build in seismic zones, reducing the damage caused by natural disasters. These aren't just historical curiosities, they're blueprints for a more sustainable future. This connection between ancient wisdom and modern challenges invites us to rethink our relationship with the environment. It reminds us that sustainability isn't a new idea but a timeless principle, one that ancient cultures embodied in their daily lives. By studying their practices, we're not just uncovering the past, we're rediscovering a way of thinking that could help us navigate the future. The next time you marvel at an ancient wonder, consider the invisible threads that connect it to the world around it. These structures weren't just built to last, they were built to live, to adapt, and to thrive within their environments. And as we face the challenges of our own time, they remind us that the solutions we seek might already exist, waiting to be uncovered in the wisdom of the past. When we think of ancient wonders, the names of pharaohs, emperors, and kings often come to mind. But behind these towering achievements were countless women whose roles were just as vital, though their stories have often been overshadowed by history. From priestesses who served as intermediaries between the earthly and divine to female rulers who wielded power with wisdom and vision, women played a central role in shaping the spiritual and practical fabric of ancient societies. Take the Oracle of Delphi, for instance. In ancient Greece, this sacred site was the heart of prophecy and wisdom, and it was a woman, the Pythia, who served as its voice. Chosen for her connection to the divine, the Pythia would enter a trance-like state, delivering cryptic messages from Apollo, the god of prophecy. Kings, generals, and everyday people sought her guidance, trusting her insights to shape their decisions. The Pythia wasn't just a figurehead, she was a conduit for divine wisdom, a role that required immense spiritual discipline and insight. Her influence extended far beyond the temple walls, shaping the political and cultural landscape of Greece. In Egypt, women often held positions of power that rivaled their male counterparts. Hatshepsut, one of ancient Egypt's most remarkable rulers, reigned as pharaoh during the New Kingdom. Known for her ambitious building projects, she commissioned the construction of the Deir el-Bahari Temple, a masterpiece of architecture that blended beauty with spiritual significance. Hatshepsut didn't just rule, she reimagined what leadership could look like, leaving a legacy that continues to inspire. Similarly, Nefertiti, whose name means the beautiful one has come, was more than just a queen. She was a co-ruler alongside her husband, Akhenaten, playing a key role in the religious and cultural shifts of her time. Together, these women demonstrate that the contributions of women in ancient societies were anything but peripheral, they were foundational. But it wasn't just in leadership roles that women made their mark. Across cultures, women served as healers, architects, and artisans, contributing to the creation and maintenance of ancient wonders. In Mesopotamia, for example, women were often skilled in medicine and midwifery, using their knowledge to care for their communities. In Mesoamerica, women were involved in the construction of temples and ceremonial spaces, their hands shaping the very stones that would stand for millennia. These roles weren't just practical, they were deeply intertwined with the spiritual and cultural identity of their societies. The challenge today is to reimagine history through a more inclusive lens, one that acknowledges the full scope of women's contributions. For too long, their stories have been relegated to the margins, treated as footnotes rather than central figures. But by uncovering and celebrating their roles, we not only gain a richer understanding of the past, we also challenge the narratives that have shaped our present. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the ancient world, let's remember that history isn't just about the monuments and the rulers, it's about the people who built them, sustained them, and imbued them with meaning. And among those people were countless women whose wisdom, creativity, and resilience helped shape the wonders we marvel at today. By bringing their stories to light, we honor not only their legacy but also the enduring power of human ingenuity in all its forms. This shift in perspective invites us to see ancient wonders not just as feats of engineering or acts of devotion, but as collective achievements, shaped by the hands and hearts of both men and women. It's a reminder that history, like the structures it leaves behind, is built on the contributions of many, each one adding a unique piece to the mosaic of human achievement. For many ancient cultures, the afterlife wasn't just a distant concept, it was a tangible reality, one that shaped their greatest architectural and artistic achievements. The Valley of the Kings in Egypt stands as a striking example. Hidden deep within the desert, this necropolis was designed to serve as a gateway to eternity. Each tomb, carved into the rock and adorned with intricate hieroglyphs, wasn't merely a resting place for pharaohs, it was a carefully constructed map for their journey to the afterlife. The walls told stories of the pharaohs' divine lineage, their encounters with gods, and the trials they would face in the underworld. These tombs were filled with treasures, not as symbols of wealth, but as tools to aid the pharaoh in the afterlife. Food, clothing, jewelry, and even weapons were placed alongside the deceased, ensuring they had everything they needed for their eternal voyage. As one Egyptologist notes, the Valley of the Kings wasn't just a burial ground, it was a cosmic machine designed to guide the soul through the mysteries of death and rebirth. Halfway across the world in ancient China, the Terracotta Army offers another compelling glimpse into the intersection of death and devotion. Commissioned by the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang, this vast army of clay soldiers was created to protect him in the afterlife. Each soldier is unique, with distinct facial features, armor, and even expressions, reflecting the belief that the emperor's power would extend beyond death. The pits surrounding his tomb also contained chariots, horses, and weapons, all meticulously crafted to serve him in the next world. What's remarkable is the scale of this project. The army consists of over 8,000 soldiers, a testament to the emperor's ambition and the belief in an afterlife that mirrored the earthly realm. These ancient practices reveal a shared understanding of death as a transition, not an end. For the Egyptians, the journey to the afterlife was fraught with challenges, requiring spells, prayers, and rituals to ensure safe passage. The Book of the Dead, a collection of funerary texts, served as a guide, offering instructions on how to navigate the underworld and avoid its dangers. Similarly, the Chinese believed that the afterlife was a continuation of earthly life, where the emperor would still need his army to maintain his rule. These beliefs weren't just abstract ideas, they were woven into the very fabric of their cultures, shaping how they lived, built, and prepared for death. Interestingly, these ancient ideas about the afterlife still resonate today. Modern spiritual practices often reflect a similar desire to honor and prepare for what lies beyond. From mausoleums and memorials to rituals that commemorate the departed, the echoes of ancient beliefs can be seen in how we approach death and remembrance. Even the concept of leaving behind a legacy, whether through art, architecture, or deeds, mirrors the ancient belief that our actions in life shape our journey after death. What's compelling about these ancient wonders is how they remind us that death, for all its mystery, has always been a source of creativity and connection. The tombs and monuments left behind aren't just about the individuals they honor. They're about the communities that built them, the beliefs that inspired them, and the timeless human desire to make sense of the unknown. As we explore these ancient practices, we're invited to reflect on our own relationship with mortality and the ways we seek to leave a lasting mark on the world. This exploration of the afterlife isn't just about understanding the past, it's about finding meaning in the present. It challenges us to see death not as an end but as a transformation, a journey that has inspired some of humanity's most profound achievements. And in doing so, it reminds us that the greatest wonders aren't just the ones we build. They're the stories we tell, the beliefs we hold, and the connections we forge across time and space. Imagine standing in the heart of the Roman Colosseum, its towering arches intact, the roar of the crowd echoing around you as gladiators prepare for battle. Or walking through the bustling streets of Palmyra, its grand colonnades and temples gleaming under the desert sun. Thanks to the wonders of modern technology, these experiences are no longer confined to the pages of history books or the imagination of archaeologists. Digital reconstructions and virtual reality are revolutionizing the way we interact with ancient wonders, bringing them to life in ways that were once unimaginable. One of the most groundbreaking projects in this field is the digital restoration of Palmyra, the ancient Syrian city devastated by conflict. Using advanced 3D modeling and photogrammetry, experts have painstakingly recreated its iconic structures like the Temple of Bel and the Arch of Triumph in stunning detail. These digital models not only preserve the memory of these lost treasures, but also allow people around the world to explore them as they once were. It's a powerful reminder of how technology can serve as a bridge between the past and the present, ensuring that even when physical sites are damaged or destroyed, their legacy endures. Virtual reality takes this experience a step further, immersing users in fully interactive environments. Take the Colosseum, for example. Through VR, you can don a headset and step back in time, witnessing the grandeur of ancient Rome firsthand. You can wander through its corridors, stand in the arena, and even watch a simulated gladiatorial match. These virtual tours aren't just entertaining, they're educational, offering a deeper understanding of how these spaces were used and what they meant to the people who built them. What's truly remarkable about these digital tools is how they democratize access to ancient wonders. No longer are these sites limited to those who can afford to travel or navigate the challenges of visiting remote locations. Now, anyone with an internet connection or a VR headset can explore the pyramids of Giza, the temples of Angkor Wat, or the ruins of Machu Picchu. This accessibility is especially valuable for students, researchers, and history enthusiasts who may never have the opportunity to see these places in person. But these technologies aren't just about preserving the past, they're also helping us reinterpret it. By reconstructing ancient sites digitally, historians and archaeologists can test theories, visualize changes over time, and uncover new insights. For instance, digital models of Stonehenge have allowed researchers to experiment with acoustic properties, revealing how the site might have been used for rituals or ceremonies. Similarly, 3D reconstructions of the Parthenon have shed light on its original colors and decorations, transforming our understanding of classical Greek architecture. This fusion of ancient history and cutting-edge technology invites us to see these wonders not as static relics but as dynamic, evolving narratives. It's a reminder that the past is not something fixed and unchanging, but a story we continue to uncover and reinterpret. And as these digital tools evolve, they offer us new ways to connect with the people who came before us, to walk in their footsteps and see the world through their eyes. In a world where time and distance often separate us from the treasures of the past, these innovations remind us that the mysteries of ancient wonders are closer than ever. Whether you're exploring a virtual reconstruction or stepping into a VR simulation, you're not just observing history, you're experiencing it. And in doing so, you're part of a new chapter in the story of these timeless marvels, one where the boundaries between past and present blur, and the wonders of the ancient world are brought to life for everyone to discover. This digital renaissance isn't just about preserving what's been lost. It's about reimagining what's possible, opening doors to a deeper, more immersive understanding of our shared heritage. And as we continue to explore these ancient wonders through the lens of modern technology, we're reminded that the past is not just something to study, it's something to experience, to feel, and to celebrate. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the towering temples of Teotihuacan, and the jungle-shrouded pyramids of Cambodia, on the surface, they seem worlds apart. Yet, these ancient wonders share striking similarities that hint at a deeper connection. How is it that cultures separated by vast oceans and thousands of years independently developed such similar architectural forms? From the stepped pyramids of Mesoamerica to the ziggurats of Mesopotamia, the pyramid shape emerges as a universal symbol, one that transcends geography and time. This recurring motif isn't just a coincidence, it's a testament to the shared ingenuity and aspirations of humanity. Take the pyramids of Egypt and Mesoamerica, for example. While the Egyptian pyramids were built as tombs for pharaohs, the Mayan pyramids served as temples and astronomical observatories. Despite their different purposes, both cultures aligned their pyramids with celestial bodies, using them to mark solstices, equinoxes, and other significant astronomical events. This suggests a shared fascination with the heavens, a universal desire to connect the earthly with the divine. Could this be evidence of a shared understanding of the cosmos, or simply a case of parallel evolution in architectural design? The prevalence of serpent symbolism offers another intriguing thread. In Egypt, the cobra represented protection and divine authority, often depicted on the crowns of pharaohs. In Mesoamerica, the feathered serpent god Quetzalcoatl symbolized creation and renewal, his image adorning temples and carvings. Even in Southeast Asia, the Naga, a serpent-like deity, appears in Hindu and Buddhist art, representing fertility and protection. This recurring motif across cultures suggests that serpents held a universal significance, perhaps as symbols of transformation, power, or the cyclical nature of life. Some theorists propose that these similarities point to a shared knowledge or even cultural exchange. Could ancient seafarers have traversed the oceans, spreading ideas and technologies across continents? While mainstream archaeology often dismisses this idea, pointing to the lack of concrete evidence, the possibility remains tantalizing. Others argue that these parallels reflect a shared human experience, a collective consciousness that led different societies to arrive at similar conclusions independently. What's undeniable is that these connections reveal a shared human heritage, one that transcends borders and time. They remind us that, despite our differences, we are bound by common threads of curiosity, creativity, and the desire to make sense of the world around us. These ancient wonders aren't just isolated achievements, they're part of a global tapestry, woven together by the hands of countless generations. This exploration of shared heritage invites us to see these structures not as relics of individual cultures but as milestones in the story of humanity. They challenge us to look beyond the surface, to see the echoes of a shared past in the stones and symbols they left behind. And in doing so, they remind us that the greatest wonders aren't just the ones we build. They're the connections we forge, the stories we share, and the legacy we leave for those who come after us. As we continue to uncover these global connections, we're reminded that the ancient world was far more interconnected than we often realize. Whether through shared symbols, parallel designs, or universal themes, these wonders speak to a fundamental truth that our ancestors, no matter where they lived or when they thrived, were driven by the same questions, the same dreams, and the same desire to leave their mark on the world. And in their shared achievements, we find a mirror reflecting our own shared humanity. Ancient wonders aren't just relics of the past, they're living, breathing spaces that continue to inspire and transform lives today. For many, these sites have become sanctuaries of spiritual connection, places where the ancient and the modern meet in profound ways. Take Stonehenge, for example. While its original purpose may remain shrouded in mystery, it has become a magnet for spiritual seekers from around the world. Every year, thousands gather at this iconic stone circle to celebrate the solstices, meditating, chanting, and aligning themselves with the rhythms of the earth and sky. For these visitors, Stonehenge isn't just a monument, it's a portal to something greater, a place where the boundaries between the physical and the spiritual seem to dissolve. Similarly, Machu Picchu draws pilgrims seeking not just adventure but transformation. Nestled high in the Andes, this ancient Incan city is often described as a place of powerful energy. Many who visit speak of feeling a deep sense of connection to the earth, to history, and to something beyond themselves. It's not uncommon to see travelers meditating on its terraces, practicing yoga at sunrise, or simply sitting in quiet reflection, absorbing the site's timeless aura. For them, Machu Picchu is more than a destination. It's a journey of the soul, a reminder of humanity's enduring quest for meaning and harmony. This resurgence of interest in ancient wisdom isn't just about nostalgia or escapism. It's a response to the challenges of the modern world. In an age dominated by technology and fast-paced living, these ancient sites offer a space to slow down, to reconnect with nature, and to tap into a deeper sense of purpose. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, and energy healing, often inspired by the traditions of these ancient cultures, have found new relevance in our contemporary lives. They remind us that the wisdom of the past isn't just something to study, it's something to live. What's fascinating is how these ancient sites serve as bridges between cultures and generations. A yoga practitioner in New York might find inspiration in the sacred geometry of the pyramids, while a shamanic healer in Peru might draw on the energy of Machu Picchu to guide their work. These connections highlight a universal truth that the search for meaning and connection is a shared human experience, one that transcends time and place. But perhaps the greatest lesson these ancient wonders offer is one of balance. They remind us that the world is not just a collection of isolated moments, but a web of relationships between the earth and the sky, the past and the present, the individual and the collective. In a world often defined by division and disconnection, these sites invite us to see ourselves as part of a larger whole, to find unity in diversity, and to embrace the wisdom of those who came before us. This enduring relevance is a testament to the power of these ancient wonders. They aren't just monuments to human achievement, they are mirrors reflecting our deepest hopes, fears, and aspirations. And as we continue to explore them, we're reminded that the greatest lessons they offer are not about the past, but about how we can live more fully in the present. In a world that often feels fragmented and fast-paced, these ancient sites stand as timeless reminders of what it means to be human. They challenge us to slow down, to listen, and to connect, not just with the world around us, but with the stories, the wisdom, and the possibilities that lie within us all. And in doing so, they offer a path not just to the past, but to a more meaningful and connected future. As we continue to uncover the secrets of ancient wonders, we're faced with a pressing question: how do we explore these sites responsibly? The ethics of excavation and preservation are more complex than they might seem, raising dilemmas that challenge both scholars and the public. On one hand, there's an undeniable thirst to learn more about these marvels, to dig deeper, to uncover hidden chambers, and to piece together the stories of those who came before us. But on the other hand, every excavation, every tourist footstep, and every artifact removed from its original context carries consequences. How do we balance our curiosity with the need to protect these irreplaceable treasures? One of the most pressing issues is the impact of tourism. Sites like Machu Picchu and the Great Pyramid of Giza draw millions of visitors each year, providing vital economic support to local communities. But this influx of people can also lead to wear and tear, threatening the very structures we seek to admire. Experts like archaeologist Dr. Sarah Parkak warn, tourism can be a double-edged sword. While it funds preservation efforts, it also accelerates the deterioration of these sites if not managed carefully. The challenge lies in finding sustainable ways to share these wonders with the world without compromising their integrity. Another ethical dilemma revolves around the repatriation of artifacts. Over the centuries, countless relics have been taken from their countries of origin, often ending up in museums or private collections far from home. The debate over whether these items should be returned is a heated one. Advocates for repatriation argue that these artifacts are part of a nation's cultural heritage and should be returned to their rightful owners. As Dr. Chip Colwell, a curator and anthropologist, puts it, returning artifacts is about more than ownership, it's about justice, about healing the wounds of colonialism and imperialism. On the other side, some institutions argue that these artifacts are better preserved and more accessible in global museums, where they can be studied and appreciated by a wider audience. These ethical challenges aren't just academic, they shape how we understand and interpret history. When artifacts are removed from their original context, we lose valuable clues about their purpose and significance. A statue displayed in a museum case, stripped of its surroundings, tells only part of the story. By contrast, when artifacts remain in situ, they offer a richer, more nuanced understanding of the culture that created them. This tension between preservation and accessibility forces us to rethink how we engage with the past, but there's hope. Responsible exploration guided by ethical principles can honor the past while still satisfying our curiosity. Collaborative efforts between archaeologists, local communities, and governments are paving the way for more sustainable practices. For example, some sites now limit visitor numbers or implement timed entry systems to reduce overcrowding. Others use 3D scanning and digital reconstructions to create virtual experiences, allowing people to explore ancient wonders without physically disturbing them. These innovations not only protect the sites but also make them more accessible to those who might never be able to visit in person. Ultimately, the ethics of exploring ancient wonders remind us that these sites are more than just relics, they're living connections to our shared human heritage. By approaching them with respect, humility, and a commitment to preservation, we can ensure that their stories continue to inspire and educate for generations to come. The challenge is not just to uncover the past but to protect it, honoring the legacy of those who built these marvels and the communities that still hold them sacred. As we navigate these complex issues, we're reminded that the greatest wonders aren't just the stones and artifacts themselves, they're the values we bring to our exploration. By prioritizing stewardship over exploitation, we can ensure that these ancient sites remain not just monuments to the past but beacons of wisdom for the future. The ancient wonders of the world are more than just monuments to human achievement. They are timeless lessons in resilience, innovation, and the enduring power of the human spirit. These structures, many of which have stood for thousands of years, bear witness to civilizations that faced immense challenges and yet found ways to thrive against the odds. Whether it was the Egyptians overcoming the harsh realities of the desert to build the pyramids or the Inca engineering Machu Picchu to withstand earthquakes, these feats remind us of humanity's capacity to adapt, create, and persevere. But beyond their physical endurance, these ancient wonders challenge us to think differently about innovation. Today, we often associate progress with technology, smartphones, artificial intelligence, and space exploration. Yet, the ancients achieved remarkable breakthroughs with nothing more than stone, wood, and sheer ingenuity. The precision of the Great Pyramid's alignment with the stars, the acoustic mastery of the hypogeum, and the sustainable water systems of Petra all speak to a level of creativity and problem-solving that rivals our modern advancements. What if the solutions to some of today's challenges, climate change, resource scarcity, even social cohesion, lie in the wisdom of the past? These sites also remind us of the importance of imagination. For the ancients, the world was a place of wonder where the material and the spiritual were deeply intertwined. They didn't just build structures, they created stories, symbols, and rituals that connected them to something greater. This sense of awe and curiosity is something we can draw from as we navigate the complexities of the modern world. In a time when we are often overwhelmed by information and uncertainty, the ancient wonders invite us to slow down, to dream, and to see the world with fresh eyes. Perhaps most importantly, these ancient marvels inspire us to think about our collective future. They remind us that we are part of a long, interconnected story, one that began thousands of years ago and continues to unfold today. The challenges we face, environmental degradation, social inequality, technological disruption, are not unique to our time. Ancient civilizations grappled with similar issues, and their responses, both successful and flawed, offer valuable insights. By studying their triumphs and failures, we can learn how to build a more sustainable, equitable, and imaginative future. The mysteries of these ancient wonders also challenge us to push the boundaries of what we think is possible. Every unanswered question: how the pyramids were built, why Stonehenge was aligned with the solstices, what secrets lie beneath the sands of Petra, invites us to explore, to question, and to innovate. They remind us that the pursuit of knowledge is never ending, and that the greatest discoveries often come from the courage to embrace the unknown. In a world that often feels divided, these ancient sites offer a powerful message of unity. They remind us that, despite our differences in culture, language, and time, we are all part of the same human story. The same creativity, resilience, and curiosity that drove the builders of the pyramids and the temples of Angkor Wat still live within us today. By honoring their legacy, we honor our own potential to create, to endure, and to imagine a future as bold and beautiful as the wonders they left behind. As we stand on the shoulders of these ancient giants, we are reminded that the past is not just a place to visit, it's a foundation to build upon. The lessons they offer are not just about how to survive, but how to thrive, how to dream bigger, reach higher, and leave a legacy that inspires generations to come. The journey through the ancient wonders of the world is more than a trip through time. It's an invitation to rediscover the extraordinary. From the celestial alignments of the pyramids to the spiritual resonance of Machu Picchu, these marvels remind us that human ingenuity has always been intertwined with a sense of wonder. They challenge us to see history not as a linear timeline, but as a tapestry woven with threads of magic, mystery, and meaning. These ancient wonders defy simple explanations. They are not just feats of engineering or acts of devotion. They are bridges between the earthly and the divine, the past and the present. They force us to rethink what we know about science and spirituality, showing us that the boundaries we draw between the two are often artificial. For the ancients, these structures were not just monuments, they were living expressions of their deepest beliefs, their understanding of the cosmos, and their place within it. As we reflect on these sites, we're reminded that the allure of ancient wonders lies not just in their grandeur, but in their ability to spark curiosity. They invite us to ask questions, to imagine possibilities, and to explore the unknown. How did ancient builders achieve such precision without modern tools? What wisdom might their rituals and symbols still hold for us today? These questions don't just deepen our understanding of the past, they inspire us to think differently about the future. The enduring fascination with these wonders is a testament to the timeless nature of human curiosity. As the great explorer and scholar Thor Heyerdahl once said, "Boundaries. I have never seen one, but I have heard they exist in the minds of some people." These ancient sites remind us that the boundaries between science and magic, between the past and the present, are far more fluid than we often realize. They challenge us to see the world not as a collection of isolated facts, but as a web of interconnected stories waiting to be explored. So, what's next? The mysteries of the ancient world are far from solved. Every discovery, every new perspective brings us closer to understanding these marvels and perhaps to understanding ourselves. As you continue your own journey of exploration, we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. What ancient wonder captivates you the most? What questions do you have about these timeless marvels? Let's keep the conversation alive. And if you've enjoyed this journey into the intersection of magic, mystery, and human ingenuity, don't forget to subscribe. Together, we'll uncover more of the world's greatest mysteries, from the depths of history to the frontiers of science. The past is full of surprises, and the future is waiting to be written. Let's explore it together.